Hey, good evening, guys. Just a couple things. I had mine just went blank. A couple things. Thanks so much for everybody that's inviting friends, all these dads that are out there. We've grown so much in the last 24 hours. It's really kind of overwhelming and humbling, all those kinds of things all at the same time. Um, we've grown I think like 75 people or something like that just in 24 hours, which is huge for a group like this. But I just believe so much in Savage Dads and the purpose behind it. Because we've got so many new guys, the purpose behind it is the whole idea of Savage Dad is thinking about cheetahs or lions that are chasing the gazelle. That's the imagery that I use often is the lion or the cheetah that's chasing the gazelle, and they're digging, they're running as hard as they can, because if they don't catch that gazelle, then they don't get to eat. And that's the same intensity that we really ought to have with fatherhood. We ought to get after fatherhood, be the best dads that we can be, because there's a lot of things that we can fail at where, if we fail at a job, we can get another one. There's lots of things that we can fail at, but fatherhood isn't one of them. It can't be acceptable to fail at fatherhood. So that's what Savage Dad is all about. I'm not the Savage Dad either. I don't want to make that misunderstanding. We are all Savage Dads. We're all getting after this together. I don't have all the answers. That's why we need more guys in this group. I have some answers, and you have some answers. Lots of people have some answers. If we get enough guys in this group, then we have all the answers. So I've got a daughter who's 3 years old, and she's complicated sometimes. She's very particular. She knows where all of her ornaments on her tree are supposed to go. It's intense sometimes. But I've never really had to really parent a son. So I've got lots of time and experience coaching parents, especially dads. Over the last 16 years, I've worked at a church as a youth pastor, kids pastor, student director. So I've got a lot of experience, but I just think there are lots of guys out there that have lots of answers as well. So this is a great place to come together, get some advice, and give some advice. If you watch these videos, or when you watch these videos, if you watch it on live, if you can just write live in the comments, it really helps me out. Oftentimes I looked at the views and I'm not sure how many views we actually have. So I know sometimes it's awkward to comment. Some people I've even had people message me and be like, hey man, I'm seeing all your stuff. I'm like, well, you never comment on my stuff. So I don't really know that you're watching. So if you're watching live, just comment live. If you watch on the replay, which we get a lot of replays, just comment replay. That also helps boost it back up to the top when other guys jump on the group. If somebody has commented on something recently, it bumps it back up to the top of the page. So it helps people get more views. If it's something that's that we're talking about that you think has value, then it's worth commenting. We are working on getting some hoodies out and some coffee mugs out ASAP. And so look for that. We're going to keep it real simple the way we're going to do these pre-orders this first time. So we're going to just try to keep it really simple. I'm learning as fast as I can, as much as I can when it comes to this group. I started this group just off of a nudge I keep telling people it was like a nudge from the Holy Spirit, just to just knock me into a lane. And I just, people say stay in your lane. Well, I got nudged into a different lane, and now I'm just trying to figure out how to drive on the wrong side of the road is what it feels like. If you ever driven in the UK, or some of our UK friends ever driven here. But anyway, we've got all that stuff going on. I wanted to talk to you guys about one of the most difficult things to tell somebody, or most difficult things to say oftentimes is I love you. I know there are a lot of dads that struggle with it, and I was thinking about what were some reasons, or what are some reasons that dads struggle with I love you. I think there's a few reasons. I think some of us have a problem being vulnerable because maybe we've had some I don't know, relational trauma in the past where we loved somebody, even a parent, a father or a mother, and we loved them, but we just didn't feel that back. And maybe they never told us that. And that might be another reason your parents never told you that they loved you. So it's it's weird for you to say it because you never heard it. So that's kind of normal for you, even though it's not right. So like maybe you're afraid because somebody might not say it back. Maybe you have, you just grew up not hearing it. Maybe like you didn't have a dad in your life and your mom just loved you so much. And like she said it all day, every day, almost like it was almost annoying how much she said it. And like, so a lot of times guys that don't have father figures or don't have dads in their lives, the only way they know how to be a dad is kind of, they think the best way to be a dad is to be the opposite of mom. So if mom said, I love you all the time, then I guess dads aren't supposed to say that kind of stuff. And that's sometimes part of the problem. The big problem though is I love you is really important. It's really important for our kids for a couple of reasons. One, it builds relationship and it lets them know that you care, that you have their best interest in mind, especially after those like discipline moments where like maybe they have to be in timeout, maybe they get something taken away, maybe they have to get a little spank on the butt. And like, it's really important moments, not days later, moments later to say, listen, I'm sorry I had to discipline you, but daddy loves you so much. And I need you to be the best that you can absolutely be. And I love you so much that I'm not going to let you be anything less than I know what you can be. And I know that you can be obedient. I know that you're not a brat. You know, I know that you're better than this. So I've got to discipline you. Do you understand that daddy loves you? And being able to have those like real heart-to-heart conversations. Another thing is when you tell your kids that you love them, now they understand, especially if you tell them that you love them and then you're actively loving them as well, not just saying it, but then like treating them like garbage. If you tell them that you love them and then you treat them well and you love them actively, then what it does is it allows them to understand what it looks like when somebody loves them. So they build that relationship with you. You're the dad. You're telling them that you love them. And now they're getting to experience love as well. And that builds on like their ability to have relationships later in life. So this is a big thing, is I've learned anything that is worth saying should be said. And I love you is one of the most important things that you can tell your kids. And I know some people might have a hard time with it. So like maybe I love you is a little difficult. Well, I think we just need to like step out of our comfort zones on one side and say, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to pull the Band-Aid off. Just rip it off. When you're putting your kid to bed, say, hey, just want to let you know I love you. And it might be awkward at first for you, but who cares? Everything, this is another thing, everything that we do in life is awkward at some point. Like down to like learning how to walk. Learning how to walk is awkward. When you don't know how to walk on 2 feet, learning how to do it is hard. And you fall down and you bump your knees and you get bruises. But you know what? It's important to learn how to walk, so that's why we do it. Like, it's important to learn how to not piss your pants. So it's probably more fun for kids to like just sit in diapers longer. But you know what? It's important to not be like in middle school, 12 years old, walking around with a diaper on. So you got to learn how to do those things. You know, it's important for kids to learn how to feed themselves. It's a lot easier to just be fed, but we have to do certain things into our adulthood, into our fatherhood. We've got to be able to tell our kids, listen, I love you. And there's other ways to say it too. And if you have any other ideas on other ways to say these things, like you can say, I love you, but you can also say, you matter to me. That's another way to say it. Hey, I just want you to know you really matter to me. Or I really love having you in my life. Or I can't imagine life without you. Like, just think of those kinds of things. If the I love you is kind of awkward at first, then find other ways to express that same kind of thing to your kids, because it's so important. So important. I can't express how important it is. So think about those things. Don't let tonight go by. If you're watching this at a later date, whatever tonight is, don't let tonight go by without you verbally expressing to your kid or your kids that you love them. It's extremely important. Love is extremely important coming from a father to a kid. So guys, thanks so much for all the support, all the comments, even all the funny memes. They just, whenever I see somebody posting to this page, it really keeps me motivated to do more. I tell you what, I'm writing every day. My goal is to just put out as much content as I can to bring support to dads. I truly believe if we change dads, if we, upgrade dads, if we change fatherhood, we change the world, man. There's lots of kids, lots of adults that wouldn't be broken if it weren't for their fathers. So I think if we fix fathers, we fix such a big part of the world. So guys, be blessed. Have a great evening. Remember to tell your kids you love them. Remember, be blessed and stay savage.